calves, lower leg this morning. So we're going to start on our knees. If this is comfortable for you, firstly just point your toes behind you, don't let the heels roll out to the side. Point the heels up to the ceiling. Sit back. Just for a moment, hands on your thighs. Close your eyes, lift your chest, shoulder blades slide down your back. Settle the head squarely on top of the shoulders. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling completely. Just a couple more breaths here. Okay. Open your eyes. One more. If you've got a towel or a jumper beside you or something, just come up onto your knees. Pull that thing. It can be your towel roll, but it's something that's not too thick. Pull it right behind the knees and then sit back. Might be a bit uncomfortable, but we're opening the knee joint. Also, we're almost stopping the flow or slowing down the flow of blood down to the feet. Okay, and then come forward, remove it. Tap the feet. Tuck your toes under. Sit back on your heels. Plantar fascia stretch. So just doing that, when is it with the thing you've got behind your knees? It flushes blood down to the feet, gets things flowing in the morning. Plantar stretch, so stretching the fascia on the bottom of the feet. If it's too intense with your weight down through your heels, just lean forward. Okay. Then coming into tabletop, bring your right shin, so you want the shin bone to come just where the fat part of the calf meets the thin part of the calf. It's called the gastroc smash. So your gastrocnemius is the fat bit of your calf and the soleus is the thinner bit. So you want to be just in between. Press the shin bone of the opposite leg there and then sit back. You might not be able to sit up, but you can rock a little. So it's like a massage. This is the point where you're pressing where the Achilles inserts. So just rocking and rolling there a little bit. Might be a bit sensitive. Okay, come forward. Straighten the feet behind you and then other side. So lifting the knee slightly out to the left so that you can cross the left shin bone below the fat part of the calf. Sit back. One side might feel worse than the other. And just bob gently there, rock a little. Bone rolling is good for this, but this is really helpful because of the amount of weight that you can push through. Just trying to release the calves. Come forward. Top of the feet, press down with the heels up. Sit back on your heels. Bring your palms beside your thighs and lift your knees. Press through the tops of your feet. So now stretching through the front of the shin. You can do one leg at a time if you find it's uncomfortable through the shoulders, holding the knees up. Okay, and down. Then come to stand. We're going to roll your mat or have your towel roll. Ready. Halfway along your mat. Put your heels on it. Oh, sorry, not heels first, sorry, toes. So the balls of your feet and your toes on it, your heels off the roll. Standing mountain, so lift up through the thighs, lift the chest, relax the shoulders. Just pressing the pelvis slightly forward, pushing down through your heels. And then bend your knees a little. You're going to bring the fingertips to the mat, relax your head, and then lift your hips up. You don't have to come to straight legs. We're trying to get to straight legs, and walk your fingertips forward. So the knees can be bent slightly if the hamstrings are too tight. You walk your fingers forward a little, draw the chest down towards the knees and relax your head. Okay, walk the fingertips back, hands to hips, squeeze your core, squeeze your thighs towards each other, coming up. Step the right foot over and bend the back knee. So you're trying to feel that little stretch. We're looking for the lower calf here. So you don't step too far in front, keep both knees slightly bent. And then change, right ball of the foot on the roll, step the other foot over. Okay, coming back, let the mat unroll. Actually we'll do quick 2 sun salutes to warm you up. Standing mountain. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, hands up. Exhale to Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, palms down. Step back, roll into plank. Drop your knees if you need to, hug the elbows in. Lower through Chaturanga, low press up. Inhale to Cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, coming to down dog. You can walk the dog here. So pressing alternate heels down towards the mat. Feel that calf muscle stretching. And inhale, up on your toes. Bend your knees deeply. Come forward to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, palms together. Exhale. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, hands up. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping back, rolling forward, lowering through Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale to down dog. Again, as we're doing calves, paddle the heels nice and slow so you really feel that stretch. You press alternate heels towards the mat. And inhaling, coming forward. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale. Uttanasana. Inhale. Rising up, palms together. Exhale. Take your hands behind your back. So if you can come into reverse prayer, otherwise, if not, then fists together, but we're trying to open through the collarbone at the same time, coming into pyramid pose. So take the left foot back, just a 2.5 feet or so, feet hip distance apart. Turn the hips to face the front of the mat, lift up through the kneecaps, so thighs engaged. Straight legs, reach your chest forward, push into your fists. And trying to, as you come forward, your left hip will want to roll back, so trying to keep the hips level. Come to halfway. If you want to fold a little more, you can, but otherwise, just stay where you can keep those hips level, and then squeeze the thighs, draw the chest up, so hinging back up. Step left foot forward, right foot back, couple of feet. Hips level to the front of the mat. Lift up through the kneecaps, reach the chest forward. Keep the right hip level with the left. So hinging to come to halfway first. Feel that lift up through the thighs, press into the big toes. Inhale, hinge up. Step forward, release your arms. Bend your knees, fingertips down. Take the right foot back into runner's lunge. So feet to hip distance apart. Left knee over left ankle. Lift up, so press down through the fingertips so you can lift up through the chest. Gaze is just forward. Squeeze the thighs to the midline. Push through the back heel. Really push down with the back heel, but keeping the left knee where it is. So really feeling the sink of the hips, but feeling activation in the back calf. Okay, then drop the right knee down. Keep the toes tucked under. Draw the hip back over the right knee. Walk your fingertips back. Flex the left ankle. Just feel a stretch all the way up the back of that left leg. So keep the chest reaching forward, trying to keep length in the spine. Push down through the left heel, toes up to the ceiling. If you can, you'll fold towards that leg. But otherwise, stay where you are. You're almost trying to come to flat back before you fold. Okay, left foot down. Step the right foot forward. Bend your knees, fingertips beside your feet. Left foot back, runner's lunge. So right knee over right ankle. Sink the hips, but lift up through that straight leg. And then push through the heel. Reach your chest forward. Don't be heavy on the front thigh, so you're trying to press through your fingertips. Lift your chest away from the thigh. Pushing through the back heel. And then drop the left knee behind the left hip. Keep the toes tucked under. Take your hips back over the left knee. Walk your fingertips back and flex the right toes, the right ankle, toes up to the ceiling. Press down through that heel. Draw the right thigh bone back, so you're trying to keep the hips level. Fold if you can. Inhale, coming up. Fingertips beside the front foot. Lift the back knee, step the left foot forward. So bend your knees deeply, bring your chest onto your thighs, and take 2 fingers and a thumb around the big toes. Relax the head down, elbows out to the side. Inhale, lift your hips. So squeeze your core, try to keep drawing the chest towards the thighs as you straighten your legs. It's all right to keep the knees bent, but we're trying not to pull through the arms, so it's an upper back stretch. We actually want it to be your hamstrings, the back of the legs, and using the core. Okay, inhale, lift your head, straighten your arms, tip your tailbone up. And then exhale, bend your knees, release your hands, hands to hips, come up nice and slow. We're going to come into chair pose, Utkatasana. Feet hip distance apart. Sink your hips down, but you want neutral spine, so we're not tucking the tailbone under or sticking the tailbone out. Draw the navel in, sit back, neutral hips. Draw the knees slightly back, but sit down. Bring your arms forward. Your gaze is on your thumbs. If you can, you'll lift the arms up and look up. But if that's too much, just have the arms forward. Plug the armbands into the shoulder girdle. So feel the shoulder blades against your back. And then you're going to come forward onto your toes. So lift up onto your toes. If you can raise your arms here, raise your arms. Keep breathing. And then exhale down, back into Utkatasana, chair pose, or fierce pose this is. And again, lift up onto the toes. Raise the arms if you can, shoulders sliding down away from your ears. And then exhale down, release the arms to your hips, standing up. Turn sideways on your mat, take your feet apart. You want to turn the toes out. We're going to come into goddess. So hands to hips. Sit down, and you want the knees to track in the direction of your toes. So if you need to change the angle of your feet or bring them in a little more. But you also want to try and have, as you sit down, try not to do that. So it's all to do with how open your hips are. But if you can, lift your chest, relax your shoulders, gazes forward, sink your hips down and take your knees to track. You can bring your hands on the inside to help the knees to track towards the toes. Bring your arms into cactus. So palms facing forward, elbows in line with shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Then lift the left heel up. And lower. Lift the right heel. And lower. Opposite side. Lower. Trying to keep your goddess, squeeze the elbows back. Okay, you can keep doing that, or can you do both? Keep breathing, and then five-pointed star, hands to hips. Come back to the front of the mat. Step the left foot back, coming into warrior one. So right knee tracks over, right knee over right ankle, feet hip distance apart. And then turn the toes 45 degrees angle, turn the back foot 45-degree angle, drive through the heel, hands to hips, revolve. So you're rolling the left hip forward, left thigh rolls internally, keep sinking the hips. You want your hips to be level to the front of the mat. Feel the calf action, so it's really strong through the back leg here. If you want to, you can stay here. If you can do the arms, bring the arms up, palms together, or James Bond fingers to help keep the arms straight. Draw the shoulder blades down your back, squeeze your core, draw the rib points together, and then look up, curl through the upper back, sink the hips. Exhale, hands to hips. Step the left foot forward. Other side. right foot back, feet hip distance apart, so you've got space to turn the right thigh inwards. So driving through that back heel. Play around with the distance. Like if you take the foot back further, it's more intense through the calf. If it's not so long, you might have the danger of the knee coming forward of the ankle in front, which isn't good for the knee. And you just don't feel that calf. To see how you feel, but keep the feet apart. Drive through the back heel. Hips level to the front of the mat. And also meaning don't tilt down to the right. So you want to lift the right side of the pelvis to be even with the left side. Inhale, arms up. Plug the shoulders, the arms in. Curl through the upper back. Keep those rib points knitting together, so keep the core engaged. Think of the heel. Push through the back heel. Exhale. Hands to hips. Step forward. Come to sit. Legs out in front of you. And you might want to prop yourself up here a little. We're just going to fold forward. So if you need to prop hips, to tilt the pelvis forward, flex at the ankles, internally rotate the thighs, so knees and toes point up. Lift your chest, squeeze your core, reach your chest forward, slide your hands down your thighs. If you can, you put your hands over the top of your feet, the fingers pointing downwards. Draw the feet back towards you. Lift the chest up, squeeze your core. So pushing through the heels. So we're forward folding, but if you need to bend the knees slightly, then that's fine. Or you can even use your strap around your feet, but we're trying to feel the heels pushing away. Inhale, release. Exhale, come to sit. Hands on your thighs, close your eyes. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling completely. Bring your palms together at your heart center. Lowering your head and opening your eyes. Namaste, friends. Have a lovely week. Yes, Waddles. Waddles knows when it's over.